Suella Braverman's husband has had enough of the left-wing media and celebrities spending every day calling his wife, the Home Secretary, the N-word. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel that challenges the mainstream media and the political establishment, from the left-wing nutters to the globalist elite. We have a number of news updates for you guys. I'm back from Benidorm. We are back in London. We're going to be focusing on what's going on, what's been happening over the last day or two. But also today, we have some new updates on various issues from the migration crisis to the net zero ULEZ policies and everything else. But first things first, let's talk about Suella and her husband. Basically, over the last few days and a few weeks, we've had a huge number of attacks on the Home Secretary, not necessarily based on policies, because if it were based on policies, then they're politicians. You know, they're supposed to take it. You're supposed to be thick-skinned, right? We get it. But when attacks continue to get personal, I'm not surprised if relatives of these politicians, like Suella, for example, her husband, coming out to say, well, it's too much. Enough is enough, especially when it comes to the likes of Gary Lineker. Yes, Gary Lineker, who created this mob rule mentality to attack Suella and her team every single day. And not only got away with it, it continues to cause division in the country. It's because these people love hate. And the more hate you create, the more division you create, then it will be easier to create destruction, which is deep down the psychology and the ideology of the hard left, because they have to bring down the system and the whole society, our whole culture, in order to start from scratch, what we call the Great Reset, for example. So, having said that, we have a few comments from Suella's husband on this situation. He's a successful man, he loves his family, and he said that I was disgusted. Personally, I think making comparisons between our politicians and our country and the National Socialist Germany is intellectually lazy. And when you have public figures doing that, then you kind of legitimize the abuse, make it acceptable. I don't think it's any coincidence that the memes and, again, the National Socialist slurs appeared after Gary Lineker's tweet. At least I hadn't seen any before when it comes to his wife. Spot on. And it's interesting enough, he said, it's unacceptable on so many levels. It really minimizes the horror of what went on. It's disrespectful to Holocaust survivors and to those who lost family members in the concentration camps. And that includes my family. So that's the fascinating thing about the whole issue, because the gaslighting that the political left creates makes you think that Suella and all the other people who want border control, which should be common sense, are some sort of weird creatures from the 1930s Germany, and they hate everybody. Skin color and religious views and everything else. They don't really sit down for a second to think, maybe some of them might be Jewish. Maybe some of them might not be white, some of these politicians. They're the right-wingers, let's just say. Not everybody is that hardcore SS officer with blonde eyes and blonde hair and blue eyes. It doesn't work that way anymore. If someone is basically small c conservative or believes in the flag or family values or border control, it doesn't really mean that they love Goebbels or Himmler. It doesn't work that way. You need to move on with times. But unfortunately, that's the situation. They're going to continue to do name calling without actually focusing on the substance of the political discussions that we could have. There are so many reasons that you can attack this government right now, Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt. So many technicalities, policy level to their vision and everything else. But I'm not going to go around and randomly attack Jeremy Hunt's face. I mean, there's a lot of massive subject matter there. But that aside, you have to have sense of humor, obviously, but you also have to have legitimacy when it comes to your arguments. If you don't have any sort of credibility when it comes to debating in politics, then you're going to lose the battle anyway. But what you're going to end up doing is you're going to create a massive series of negative consequences in our culture and society. The country is going to be even more divided than before, and it's the political left that continue to keep it divided. Now, we have a number of other updates for you guys every half an hour if you're new to the channel. The next video in half an hour will be about Oxford. Yes, politicians in Oxford who've gone extremely woke and net zero have come up with another stupid idea, and we're going to tell you guys when we come back. Let's take a break. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.